Hi guys, I hope you're all well. So this video is going to show how I can get a miniature like this, paint it pretty fast and get great results. So whether you're new to painting or have always just struggled with painting, then yeah, this video is going to show you, well, how quick and easy painting really can be. Obviously not going to win any awards, but definitely tabletop ready. Yeah, here we go. So for the miniature, yeah, obviously guys, if you've been with me a while, you'll know I absolutely love orcs and that sort of thing. So this is the miniature I am using. I will leave a link down below to where you can get hold of this miniature. This video is sponsored by Halo or PO Creep 3D and the Halot X1. But obviously, as always, anything I say or my views, they're all mine. I'm never told what to say or do. So this printer, I've been using it, yeah, about a year now. I absolutely love it. Bit different to normal printers. And then this one has the resin vat, as you can see, comes up. The build plate doesn't move at all. It's the resin vat that goes up and down. It doesn't go up and down as quick as that. That was speeded up just to sort of show you, well, it goes up and down. And then when the print is complete, the build plate goes back down, and then we can take the thing off. Kind of other little features I love with this. Sorry, that was the cat hitting the stand. Is the plate. So it doesn't move, but it's also got these flappy paddles on the back. Obviously, prints come out perfectly. Does need a bit of a clean. Yeah, so these flappy paddles on the side, all you do is give them a little wiggle, and the print gets pushed off, which is great. So no more scraping, which yeah, it might not sound much, but trust me, scraping miniatures off was a pain. So being able to do this, awesome. So yeah, this little chap needs to go and have a little wash and then be cured. So he has now, so I can touch him and hold him. I love how he's come out. So I have made one difference with this miniature. I have sliced the back off, and that's because, as you may have seen, yeah, I'm going to put it in a frame. Obviously, I've got it on my little painting handle. You can get hold of the STL file for these over on my Patreon page. Really nice and simple, easy looking thing. But obviously, it means I can hold the painting handle and not get my hands sort of, well, painted basically. So using a bit of primer, and I'm using the good old black from the Colour Forge. Been using their paints or their primers about 3 years now, 4 years. Really love them. Tried loads of black primers prior to this. This has always been my favourite. Always comes out perfectly. A nice matte finish, because some black mattes, well, they're not matte. But yeah, great coverage. So now we need to do the bit of dry brushing. So I've got my textured dry brush palette. I've got some matte white, and I've got a dry brush. These don't need to spend much money on dry brushes. Get cheap ones. I normally do. In fact, I normally get the makeup brushes. So you get about, I don't know, about 8 brushes for about £5, which is pretty cool. Because I tend to find, well, when I use them, they only last about a year, and then I normally throw them away because, well, they're a bit cream crackered after that. But there we go. So yeah, a bit of dry brushing. Obviously, as the name implies, you get your brush, fill it with paint, get most of it off. So there's only a little bit of paint left on here. And if you want to get the best results from dry brushing, you want to go into like circular motions. This gives a much smoother look to the dry brushing. But obviously with the metal bits, sometimes I do just drag the brush sort of backwards and forwards or left and right. That almost gives you not quite scratch marks, but not far off. So on metallic bits or bits of like things you'd wear, I guess, you could do that. But on skin, yeah, you want to try and do a circular motion just to sort of get that nicer, smoother look. In any case, it's just a case of rinse and repeat. When the brush gets too dry and there's pretty much no paint on there, yeah, load it up again, get rid of most of it, and then just continue. And this is where this miniature, I absolutely love the detail in this. And again, that's something I should mention. When you get miniatures, the more detail in them, the better this speed painting works. If you're doing like a miniature that doesn't have a lot of detail, a lot of flat areas, then yeah, this might not work as well as it does for this. But as you can see, yeah, tons of texture in this guy. And he's even got more frown lines than me, I think, which is pretty surprising. It's a case of just picking your paints. So you may have seen the paint rack. There's a video out there somewhere of me making this. Absolutely awesome. Obviously, as well, with the paints I do use, I do paint the lids. And this is an invaluable thing to do because then you can see exactly how it's going to look. So each of the lids I primed in black, dry brushed, and then obviously painted. And that's me just showing you the poppets that I use for, well, to put the paints in. I really love these. Been using these for a good few years. Hold paint really well. Seems to sort of last longer in these as it doesn't dry out as quick as if I was putting it on a plastic palette. And you'll see towards the end of the video, yeah, these things are so easy to clean. So easy to clean, it's untrue. And then say speed paints. Absolutely love using these. Been using these for a good 3 years or maybe more now. And yeah, these have changed my thoughts on painting so much. Yeah, guys, go check out some of the earlier videos from about well, I've had the channel 5.5 years, so go check out the videos in the first sort of year and a bit, and you'll hear me. They do a little montage. You'll hear me so many times saying I hate painting miniatures because I did. I used to hate it. I used to do more sort of model making, building stuff, whereas now obviously I do more painting because I absolutely love it. So once that paint's finished with, yeah, pop it back and then get the next one. And obviously I use a combination of the Army Painter speed paints. That's what I'm primarily using in this video, but I do also have the Green Stuff World dipping inks, and they're pretty good too. If you do use the dipping inks, be careful. They are a lot more fluid, and they do run a lot more, which is great for obviously pooling in the recesses. Because obviously that's how these things work so well. Obviously they give you the nice contrast that we're kind of all after. Yeah, the paints, they pool in the recesses, so they go darker, and then any flatter sort of raised areas, they're nice and light. And I say this is what gives us that lovely contrast between the sort of the brown or the green or whatever color it is we're using, which is just great. And I say it really does do well all the hard work for us. So yeah, it's just a case of going around and painting well the rest of the thing. I say this is where these paints, yeah, they really will sort of pool in these areas. So lovely texture here. Again, this is why the more texture, the better, because then you will get that more contrast in the paints. So once this is all done, you could go over later on and do some highlighting. It's something I kind of always say I'm going to do in my videos, but I think I've stopped saying it now. But I used to always say, yeah, I'm going to revisit a miniature, go over a bit more with the highlights, as in using a lighter color or whatever colors underneath. But yeah, I never do. Again, that's why I love this speed painting. It is a case of getting a miniature done, getting it ready, especially obviously if you're playing war games with them, whether it's Warhammer, D&D, HeroQuest, all them sort of things. Yeah, and then just move on to the next miniature. So the Army Painter does also do a metallic range of speed paints. And one thing I would say, these coverage is awesome. They go on really well, and I say they cover really, really nice. They don't seem to have the sort of same fluidity, if I can get the word out, as the other colours, as in when they go into the recesses, they're the same sort of colour as they are on any flat areas. So you will see me later on in the video go over any of the metallic areas with a wash, just to give it that little bit of contrast look. But say for coverage, yeah, these really do go on so well. So guys, obviously I do a lot of videos of me painting miniatures. Let me know in comments though, if there's any sort of miniature you want to see me paint, just so you can get ideas of the colours to use for painting that miniature, or just to see how I go about painting miniatures. Obviously, say this is a bust, so it is a little bit bigger than the kind of miniature you would play on your tabletop, but it does give a good representation of, well, just how quick and how easy you can paint these. Yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see me sort of paint next. I do play, obviously, HeroQuest. Occasionally play D&D. D&D is one of those games where it's very difficult to get a group together. You make arrangements, and then sometimes, obviously, life gets in the way. Or in the last case, I totally forgot. We had a game booked, but yeah, I had no clue what day of the week it was, and yeah, I was unable to make the last game. But I will be playing another game later on this month. I'm thinking about me being a sorcerer. Any tips on being a sorcerer, guys, in D&D, especially the latest edition of 2024? Let me know, because it's something I've never played. I tend to be quite boring, and I always go with druids. Love druids and paladins. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's get back to the video. Obviously, as you can see, I always show what paints I'm using. Just again, if you want to sort of copy me, then yeah, you can see the paint that I'm actually using in that one. So most of the ones that you will see in this video, we'll say most, I think 100% of the paints you're seeing in this video are going to be the Army Painter speed paints, just because these are so good. And also there's a full range. Again, that's what I love about these. I do love orcs, but I don't want all my orcs to be the same green. Was I think, again, I always forget, I always chuck out a random number of about 12. I think that's how many greens I've got. But that may include, say, some of the dipping inks by Green Stuff World. Anyway, guys, if you're watching this video on the day of release, Happy New Year to you, because it is the 1st of January 2026, which is just crazy, because it always seems to sort of come around really quick to a new year. But yeah, Happy New Year to you. Hope you got everything you wanted from the old Crimbo and all that. And yeah, let's all have a good year. And I hope think I might actually start writing down because I always wonder how many miniatures I paint in a year. I think last year was definitely one of the biggest ones because obviously I got into the Barons War and Pillage, so I've got quite a few armies. And when I say armies, I've got like I was doing some batch painting for about 26 miniatures in one go. So again, guys, if you do have a lot of miniatures you want to paint, yeah, check out some of the videos where I've done batch painting, and I've literally sort of got with 26 miniatures and I've painted them in one hit. And I think I was doing them in about 2.5 hours. It was definitely under 3 hours. I think there was one video where I tried to paint 26 miniatures in under 2 hours. Didn't quite achieve it, but not far off. So yeah, batch painting, speed painting is definitely the way to go. Say you never win any awards, but yeah, these are very good and tabletop ready miniatures. So yeah, for his lips, I tend to always with for some reason I try and do them pink. Never quite works out. So as you can see, in this case, his lips or lip, you only see one of them. Yeah, I've just done it in a lighter green, just so it looks a little bit different from his face. But so this is where again, my only problem I do have with painting is sometimes not knowing what color to use. So possibly like you guys, I do kind of cheat and I copy other people or I look online, good old Google, and see what colors other people have used and then kind of use the same. So he's pretty much done. I just needed to finish off the last bit sort of on his leather bits there. So I've got the dark brown. And then, yeah, so this is where obviously I painted with the gold, but it covers too well. It doesn't really sort of go into the recesses that much or change color. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a wash over this. Good old war paint, say still by Army Painter. I've got quite a lot of their washes, sort of darker, lighter, browner, and blacker. But yeah, when it comes to washes, I do prefer the browner look than the black. Sometimes I find the black washes look a little bit too kind of like dirty, whereas the brown, yeah, I think it's just a nice subtle look. So especially with armor, it makes it look a bit more aged and weathered, which is pretty cool. But yeah, if in doubt, yeah, chuck a wash on. Again, I do. I mean, I always say this. I call it more of a bath when I put washes on because I do like things to look a bit cream crackered, a little bit weathered, a bit used. Yeah. So this is the poppet, and again, this is how easy it is to clean this. So left the paint for a couple of nights, I think this was, and then it's a case of just popping them out. So obviously they dry up eventually, and then just peel out. So sometimes I need to clean these little poppets, but on the general, yeah, you just wait a couple of days, you can pop them out, and then you're good to go. So again, a nice, easy way of well using your paint when you're painting, but again, quick and easy to clean it afterwards. So chuck them in the bin, and there we go. So painted his eyes. Yeah, I never show me painting eyes, mainly because I have to hold this thing pretty close to my face, just because, yeah, I hate painting eyes. If I had a choice, I would get every miniature wearing a helmet, because I love that. There's no eyes involved. But at least with these guys, it's just a red drop, and I've not got to mess about doing white or a black pupil. And there we go. Say, it didn't take too long at all to paint this miniature. And obviously this is quite a large one, so a smaller miniature, yeah, less paint, quicker to use. And I put them in a little frame. Reason for this, I just like frames. Because obviously I always run out of ways of storing things I do. Whereas this, I can just stick these on a wall, which is kind of what I think I might do, stick these on the wall behind me. Or I have been thinking about selling the things I've been painting. If you're interested in that, yeah, let me know in the comments. So a big thank you and shout out to all my lovely patrons, as you can see on the side there. It's these guys that basically keep me going, obviously financially, so I can keep making videos because obviously, yeah, this is my full-time gig. I absolutely love it, but yeah, it's your help that gets these videos made. And I'm going to start posting more on my Patreon page to let them know what I'm doing. Hey, you guys take care. Have a great start to the new year. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Take care. Bye now.